Hello YouTube, in today's video I'm going to be showing you and a couple of pointers on the installation of the all metal upgrade for this 144001. It has gone completely to metal, so this will not be doing any kind of bashing. This will be just flat surface running, speed runs kind of stuff, because I don't want to break any of these parts, because being metal, it is going to be more susceptible to breaking, because the forces when you hit something or jump or land are not going to be able to handle that well because it's stiff and rigid. Anyway, going on. It's all installed. As you can see, I made a video of all the components that came with it. Things that did not come with the metal upgrade kit was the differential gearboxes. I got those separate, and actually the kit came with the metal differential and the metal differential casing, and I got two of those. Another thing that did not come with the kit was this dust cover right here. It's metal. Now it's cool looking, but if I decide to go with upgraded pinion sets, maybe mud one gearing, if I use the A59, I think it's 595 if I'm not mistaken, or 579 or something like that. It's the lower model, the 118 buggy, or 116. It will not fit correctly, so you have to cut out some of the inside because you have to do some adjustments to the mounts and stuff. But if I go that route with a 17 tooth pinion on the Mod 7, then I'm probably going to have to revert back to the original case, dust cover, the black one. Other than that, I'm going to be running stock gearing on this and see how that goes. But for now, I'm just going to ride with this one. And it actually looks pretty cool. I like the looks of it. So that's just my 2 cents on it. On the back side, one thing that I do want to advise you is that if you do get this mount for the shock tower and stuff, that goes into the swing arms back here, then you might want to, at least in my case, these metal gearboxes for some reason are a little bit, tiny bit thicker, or the screws are aligned a little bit different. I don't know what the case might be, but this mount will not sit correctly over here. It sits really tight, and then when you do get it in, it's going to be tough to get these two bottom screws and the screws that go here into the wing on there. So what I had to do is on the bottom side, down here where the bottom screws are, on the bottom side of this right here, I had to go to my Dremel and kind of grind out a little bit of the metal on the bottom so that this would go down a little bit and align with the screw. No big deal, just additional work that I had to do, but other than that, it was okay. Now, I did service the shocks. The shocks come bone dry factory with the metal upgrade kit. At least my kit did. And there's plenty of tutorials out there on how to do shocks. My advice is that if you're going to be doing a lot of work on your car, you have something else to do these. Let them sit so all the air bleeds out according to how the videos show you to. And then just come back and install them. Do them in sets. You want to do sets of back and sets of front, so that you have the same kind of resistance or shock absorption, or so it's the balance is equal on either side, on the back and on the rear and on the front. Now I put 60 weight oil. There's a lot of people who recommend to put heavy oil on the back so it doesn't bottom out, and then on the front I put a 42 weight. It works. So the backside on these cars, for some reason, the dampening on it always kind of stays halfway when you push on the bottom. Maybe that solution could be better, springs or something like that, but we'll get there later. The wing, I got the wing. It did not come with the kit. I purchased it separate. The wing kit is pretty cool. It installs. It does work with the aftermarket thicker mount. And that's where my GERT model is going to go from Fat Bodies, is going to get installed on there. I'm not there yet because I still have to paint it and stuff. Now, one thing that I do want to point out, if you don't do a 1-to-1 and you take all the parts apart And then you have the issue of the shoe where the dog bone sits in back here, in here. Make sure that this piece right here, all right, the little groove that that these go into right here, then that it faces the rear. You want them to face the rear. That's kind of hard to show in the video, but there you go. You can see right here that this part back here sits to the back. Because if you do not put it to the back, these extending arms right here are going to, these right here, the extending arms, they're not going to sit right. They're going to sit crooked, because I made that mistake. I installed them facing the front, and it was crooked, and I was like, this doesn't look right. So I kind of played with it for a little while, turned these back here around, and that did the trick. Other than that, it works really well. Now, the one of the things that a lot of people talk about in these cars is the front wheel. It does have a little play. I'm going to fix that with some bearings. I don't know if it'll go all the way, but I got a little bit bigger bearings to fit on there to try to compensate for that. Other than that, that's all that I've done with this, and now I will show you what else. Let me see, make sure that I got all the things that I wanted to talk about, because this was just kind of on the fly. The kit does come with the pinion, I think it's a 42 tooth Mod 7 metal pinion upgrade, and it comes with the 27 tooth that goes in here as well. I don't have the motor mod installed yet because I was waiting on the brushless set that I'm going to test out on this. It's a cheap Chinese brushless set. It's a good starting point for me, since it's the first one that I'm going to install, and I didn't want to spend a ton of money on something that I wasn't sure if it was really going to work. So in a minute here we will go to that. Other than that, I like how it looks. This car is specifically going to be built for speed runs. It's not going to be doing any bashing, because I'm afraid of these parts might break if I start doing some crazy stuff with it and crashing it and stuff like that. So I'm not sure. I installed the Exceed tires. Their foams, I think the front ones are 35, 45 sure. 26 millimeters wide. The rear ones are 30 millimeters wide, and I think these are 30 sure, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back and double check, but I think they are Exceed for 110 model. 30 sure, 110 model fits perfect in this car. And other than that, I mean, the project is coming along pretty well. I will do more videos on this specific model, a specific car, because there's not a lot out there for beginners like me. But other than that, I mean, that's all I have as far as the upgrade kit. It worked really well. Everything was 1-to-1. Now do be careful with the screws, because the screws are cheap made, and I broke a few, I stripped a few, and I had even to do a couple modifications. But look, this kit right here, they sell it. Many sellers sell it. You can get it on eBay. You can get it on AliExpress, Banggood. A lot of places have this set. This set is specifically made for the 14401, and it has pretty much every screw that even grub screws for pinions come in here. But I mean, it's a very good kit. It does come with this tool right here, which if by now you haven't, and you have a 14401. The plastic one that comes with it is not very good. Mine stripped out like after the second use, so now I have a metal one. As far as what came with the kit, I'll try to remember as much as I can. The shocks came with it, the mounts came with it, the swing arms came with it, all the hub assembly parts that go on either side came with it. The bearings that go on the hub assembly comes with it. It comes with the 2 rear dog bones. I reused the ones that I had already because there was nothing wrong with them, so now I have an extra set of rear dog bones. But I think I've seen a video out there that says that the front dog bone fits on the rear, and the reason why that is cool to me is because I don't have a way to show you because it's installed, but it comes with the arm that goes out to the wheel pre-installed on the dog bone, so it just won't fly off. I've seen people who have complained about this dog bone flying out if they have a crash and then they lose it and then they can't find it. But anyway, Other than that, let me see what else. The drive shaft came with it. Now, I did have an issue with the gears, the planet gears that come on the front and the end of the drive shaft. When I installed the ones that came with the kit, I was having a hard time for it to align on either side, and it's fit pretty tight, and it was making a little bit of grinding noise. So I was able to disassemble the old drive shaft and install the planet gears that go on the front into the front differential housing and the rear differential housing. And those seem to do the trick, and I have very good motion. The car actually moves. I mean, you don't, let me just see. No grinding as of right now. They're doing what they're supposed to do on the rear. Yeah, it's pretty free moving. So I'm doing pretty good in that department. The upgrade kit also comes with the servo or the steering control arms. It does not come with this piece right here that you have to reuse that. There's another mod out there to prevent the steering problems that this car has, but we'll get to that later. Other than that, it's come out. Oh yeah, everything, back hub, everything comes with it. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of jumping all over the place now. Things that did not come with it that you see in this video are the wing mount, the differential, and the metal differentials, which it did come with metal differential. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already. What else didn't come with it? This dust cover didn't come with it. Other than that, everything else that's installed on this came with the kit. And the prices range, the ones that come without without the shocks, they run for about $28, $29 up to $50. This one runs from about $45 to $60 something bucks, and even higher. It depends on who you're buying it from. Banggood, AliExpress has them. One thing that I have noticed is AliExpress has a lot better selection when it comes to upgrade parts for this particular vehicle. The only downside is shipping. It takes a little bit long to get here, but so far everything that I have ordered on average takes 15 days to get to me, and that is actually not bad. I haven't had anything arrive yet that has taken longer than that, except for the upgrade kit that I'm about to review. Moving from the car, actually no, one more thing with the car. So there's a droop screw. Droop meaning this is the droop of the car. You either can decrease the droop or increase the droop according to a little set screw a screw that doesn't come with it. There's a little hole. If you're wondering what that little hole is right there, I don't know if you can, trying to point it out, but it's kind of hard to see it. There it is. You can see it. It's down under in there. I'm gonna put this in here because I don't have a problem. Okay, so I have it in the droop screw hole. There it is. Nope. Yeah, nope. It's right next to that. There it is. I just have a hard time. I'm kind of blind. There it is. There's a screw that you can put in there. I believe it's a 2.5, 2 or a 2.5. I'm not sure, but it fits in there. Now, don't use the coarse thread because that's what you would use on the plastic part. You have to use a machine screw on here because it's a metal part. But I have some screws that I'm going to be putting in there to increase or decrease the droop. So that's the one that I'm actually using right there. It's about 12 millimeters long, and the way it works is as soon as you start screwing it, actually let's just do one. I'm going to put one in and show you exactly how this is going to work. See if I can get it in there without any problems. Shouldn't be any issues. I've already tested the screw on there. So alright, so there it goes. It's going in, going in, going in. Alright, so now I have a droop screw in there. If you can see it, there it is. There it is. So the droop screw's in there. Let me push it in so I can show you the difference of what it can actually do for the car. It's going in, and there it goes. It starts lifting the droop of the car. Maybe if you dampen it a little bit, it's a lot easier to set in. But this is just for demonstration purpose. I'm not sure how I'm going to set it yet. So, alright, so if I go all the way, or as far as this, or halfway, let me see. There you go. Alright, so There, you see the difference? I mean, of course, I'm not going to run it like that, but that's just showing you what the screw does for you. It decreases the droop of it, and what happens is that there's a little metal flap right here that comes, and that's what the droop screw sits on while running. And that, since this is for speed runs, I don't know, it doesn't look like it aligns very well there. Yeah, it does. It just kind of swings out a little bit, but I don't see that as a problem because it's going to be for speed runs. So now I can decrease the droop and where I want it, give or take, and I'm not sure yet. I'm going to be working on this car quite a bit. All right, so too straight. I don't want it that straight. That looks about right. So give or take where I want to run it is right there. See, that's about how high I want it to be. And that makes it sit a lot better on the piece of metal. So they see, it stops it right there. It doesn't go anywhere further than that versus this one. See, this one has a full ride. So it has much more droop. So I'll play with it, see what works better. But for now, that's all I have for the car itself. Now it goes to the unboxing the actual kit that I bought. I got it from AliExpress. It's a cheap Chinese version of it, so I don't expect much out of it. I paid about $48 for the whole kit, and it comes with a transceiver and receiver, so there is no telling the quality or the functionality of it, but let's try it out. Alright, so get a look further on the camera here so we can see what's in the box. Turn it a little bit, I got it crooked. My bad. Alright, so let's see. So inside of here, it comes all in a plastic bag, so that's not a good indication at all so far, but we'll see, We'll see what happens. Alright, so here's the ESC. The ESC is supposed to be, they claim that it is a 120 amp ESC. How true there is to that, I will be testing it and let you know. But I haven't seen many videos on these actual particular ESCs. It's very small compared to what it is. So we will see if it actually is a 120 amp ESC. Here is the pretty thick wires. Here's the ESC. It comes with a Dean's connector, of course, because that's what I'm running on my vehicle. It has an on-off switch, and there's not much to it, but it does say 120 amps, so it's fairly small ESC to be 120 amps, but we will see. There's the bottom of it, you can see through it, how this actually works. There's a soldering that's done on it. Okay, and the fan is removable. If you want to run it without the fan, you can. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. And it just comes around and installs right there, plugs in right there. So, and it has an on-off switch, which is kind of cool. That's just the ESC portion of it. There it is again. Alright, so going on, moving on. It comes with the servo. I couldn't wait to get this because I was waiting to see, since I went full metal and I have a lot of blue parts that are going to be installed on this car as well. Then this is the servo swing arm, if you want to call it that comes in there. It feels pretty light. I think it's metal. Let me see. Yeah, it's metal. So there you go. That's for the servo. Excuse for my dirty hands. I've just been working a lot on this car the last couple of days. There it is. Alright, so it comes with that. It comes with the servo, which when I bought this kit, I bought it for a direct fit on the 14401. So that servo should fit on there. Where's my other servo? Okay, so I already removed the other servo. Hold on, let me find it. I know it's in here somewhere. What do I do with the servo? There it is. It's in this bag. So this servo is a 5-wire servo, the one that I'm pulling out of this bag, which is the stock servo. I still have the mount on it, so remove the mount that goes onto the car from it. Okay, there it goes. There's, in comparison, the servo that comes with it. So they are exactly the same size. It's just that it might even be the same kind of servo. It just has, this one I know has a plastic gear on it. This one has a metal gear on it. This one feels a little bit heavier, so I'm assuming that all the internal components are metal as well. It does come with a longer wire, and it's a 3-wire servo versus a 5-wire servo, which is why you have to, when you go brushless, you have to change your servo, because it goes from stock is 5-wire to 3-wire, and you will not be able to put this on the ESC or on the transmitter. But here we go, that's the servo. Like I said, it's a 1-to-1 fit. Moving along from the servo. I didn't know what the one downside of that, when I bought the kit, I didn't really know what I was buying. So I didn't know how many kVs this motor was going to be or what they claim it to be. But now that I got it, here it is. Here's the motor. Finally got the motor and finally know how many kVs it is. Now, it doesn't seem to have markings of what brand the motor is, but I have a slight suspicion because of the looks and how it's made that this is a Gould RC motor. It just doesn't say it on it, but I'm pretty sure it is a Gould RC motor. It's a waterproof motor, 4300 kV. Again, that's the claim. With 3650 motor with the 3.17 pinion shaft. So it's completely sealed on the back with the stock gear, and I hope it doesn't overheat. I put smaller tires to compensate for a little bit of the heating. I might have to get a heat sink, something. I'll figure something out, but we'll see. It might not get hot at all. There it is, the motor. The ESC did come with a little instruction / user manual. That 120 amp ESC is supposed to run, let's see. Well, look, it has the instructions for the, I did get that part, which I didn't buy it with this kit, but this is the programmer. It has the programmer instructions, so it does have the programmer instructions. There it is. Now, specifications, it does give you the specifications of the ESC, or what they claim that the ESC is. So going by this little paper, the 120 amp ESC is supposed to be able to work with 2 to 4 S LiPo. That's what it says. We will see if that is true. I hope I don't burn this thing when I put a 3S on it. But it says that it is from 2 to 3S LiPo. And you can see it right there, 120 amp ESC, 2 to 4 cell LiPo. We'll see how true that claim is. Again, now it did come with a transmitter. I'm not overly excited with this transmitter, but it's what comes with the kit. And for $47, which is what I paid for the kit, I am not complaining. I did order a different transmitter. It's a Dumbo RC. I think it's the X6. And I got it with the gyro version of the Dumbo RC S6. So here is user manual for the transmitter. All the instructions are not going to help me one bit, because this instruction manual isn't all Chinese. But I'm pretty sure that I will be able to figure it out. It does have a translation of the functions right here, but other than that, there is no other instructions that what you see on the front cover. The instruction, here's the transmitter, nothing special. It feels kind of light. It doesn't feel too cheap, but it has pretty good action there. I like that. It has the foam on it. There is the functions that you can use on it. This is a, how many channels? I think it's a 3-channel. Yeah, it's a 3-channel. 3-channel radio. You can do the steering trim. You can adjust how fast the throttle trim. It has a throttle trim. That's pretty good. Other than that, There's nothing special to it. It's just on-off switch, power LED. I mean, there you go. You can see it for yourself. Those are the functions that are available with this particular model. But like I said, I'm gonna move on from this one fairly quick. But I might use it, especially since I don't have the Dumbo RC yet. Here is the little transmitter. In comparison, if you ever wonder how big these little transmitters are, because I was wondering, or receivers, I was wondering the same thing. That's how big it is. And if you know what the servo looks like on this car in comparison to the servo, that's how big it is. And the reason why this is important is because you're going to have to figure out how to cram all this stuff in there, because if you're using the stock body, which I'm not, but if you decide to go with your stock body, you're going to have issues trying to get all this stuff crammed in there without the body touching it, or without having to do some kind of alteration to make the body sit a little higher, or even cut a hole in the body for that ESC to fit in there. But there's the receiver that comes with the transmitter, and your ESC and all your other stuff that you're going to install, and I guess installed on here. We will see how it works once I install it, and I might even do a tutorial video of me installing it, so you'll have something to laugh at, because I've never installed a brushless kit, so we will see how that works. Anyways, thank you for watching, and we will have more on this car soon to come.